Hey, what's going on, Console Network? It's Two Dimensions here, and I bring you a Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. And this is the NU tier against someone in the Serebii chat room. So let's get started. He's gonna start off with the Gardevoir, as I'm gonna go into my Armaldo, a physical wall that I made. It's not exactly the most original set, but I have another one that's actually a rock polisher and not shiny. So he traces my battle armor. It doesn't really matter, because he's gonna go ahead and go for the Hypnosis, which is a pretty good play on his part, because that disables me to go for the Stealth Rock. And I'm just gonna stay in here to scout out if he does carry the dual status, but instead he goes for the Psychic, and that's gonna do a lot of damage because Armaldo is not a special defense wall. The special defense is okay, but that Gardevoir has somehow special attack investment, so it's not only a statuser, but it's an attacker as well. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Pinsir, because I know I can take a Psychic from this thing, but he instead predicts me to go for a Dark type, and he's going to go ahead and go for the Focus Blast, and I resist that, so that's great for me that I switch into Pinsir, because Bug types resist fighting. And I'm going to take that like a champ, because Pinsir has pretty good bulk, and I just go for the safe X-Scissor, but he predicts that nicely and goes into Magmortar, and X-Scissor is gonna do a decent amount because it's stab, and thankfully I don't get the Flame Body burn, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch into my own Gardevoir, which is special defense wall, because I predict the special type move, and it's gonna be either Flamethrower or Fire Blast, and he does go for the Fire Blast, and I take it not as well as I thought it would, so I'm thinking this could be Specs Magmortar, but I'm not entirely sure. And he does get the burn, which is pretty bad for me, because later that will cost me my Gardevoir. And he's gonna go ahead and go for another Fire Blast, excuse me, and he misses, which is pretty good for me. And I'm gonna go for the Psychic to finish this thing off, or attempt to, but he's gonna live with a little bit of HP left. And yeah, I'm gonna get more burn damage, and it's gonna cost me later, because now he goes for the Fire Blast. I do live with 4 HP though, which is always great, because now I'm able to go for my Psychic, and that will finish off the Magmortar. So Gardevoir did its job, because I finished off at least one poke, and I go for a Thunderbolt on this thing, just in case he decided to switch his Magmortar, because if it is Scarfed, I probably would have saved it for later, so I predicted him to switch actually there. And I finished off the Magmortar with Thunderbolt, of course. And now I'm gonna die to the burn damage. So it's a double down right now, but I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Pinsir, because I'm Scarfed, and I'm pretty sure I can outspeed and KO at least one poke, whatever he decides to switch into. And I was actually predicting him to go for Gardevoir, because most people go into their leads first. And I'm not scared of this Dodrio, even though his name is Doduo there, but it's a Dodrio. It's a funny name, it catches people off guard. I'm not scared of that, because I know these things are mostly choice banded and not fast. They're not, you know, fast and stuff. But I'm going to go for the Stone Edge, and that will KO the Dodrio. Thankfully I don't miss with the Stone Edge, because otherwise that Dodrio probably would have KO'd my whole team. So now he goes into Huntail. I was predicting like a Rock Slide or something, just in case he does have it. So they go into Vileplume, because I can take any move he throws at me with his Vileplume. But instead he goes for the Rain Dance, which he does have the Swift Swim ability, I think Huntails have that. But I forgot that these things actually carry the Ice Fang. All I remembered from Huntail was that they had a very bad move pool, and they carry Return, because they like usually put that on pokes that really don't have any other moves. I mean, that's not normal type. And I'm just gonna go for the Stun Spore, because I wasn't sure if my Giga Drain would finish this thing off anyways. So thankfully I do get that Stun Spore off, and I'm gonna go ahead and go for the Giga Drain. That does a whole lot of damage, even though this Lava Plume does not have any special attack investment. So that will almost KO the Huntail, but not quite. It's gonna get off another Ice Fang, and I do replenish almost all of my HP, and the Ice Fang will do a lot of damage to me, and that will almost KO the Vileplume. So I'm just gonna keep on going for a Giga Drain. You probably should have switched into something that could resist it, but you know, it's not risk. I mean, it's not worth saving Huntail because, you know, it's paralyzed. So I'm gonna get a little bit of HP back from the Giga Drain and the Black Sludge, and he's gonna go into his Gardevoir. So here's my plan. I'm gonna sacrifice my Armaldo because it's asleep. Okay, and I'm gonna go into yeah, Armaldo, like I said, and I'm just gonna sacrifice it because I know he's gonna want to put one of my pokes to sleep, because usually when someone KOs a sleeping Pokemon, they want to put another Pokemon to sleep. So that was my plan there. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Magmar, which carries Substitute, because I predicted him to go for Hypnosis, because Magmars aren't very common. So yeah, so you can go for the Hypnosis like I predicted, and now the rain stopped. So now I go for a Fire Punch. I was actually gonna go for the Belly Drum. This is a Belly Drummer set, and it carries Substitute, Belly Drum, Thunder Punch, Fire Punch. And I just remembered at that moment that Gardevoir might have had the Focus Sash. So that's why I went for the Fire Punch instead of the Belly Drum. And that's gonna be great for me because he told me later that this Gardevoir actually did have the Focus Sash, so that works out great for me. And this is going to be a sure 2-hit KO, and things are looking pretty good for Magmar. He's going to go into his Plusle, and I know these things carry Encore, so I'm going to keep on going for the Fire Punch. And he actually said this was a misclick on his part. Doesn't matter because I did have the Salic Berry, because this was a Belly Drummer set, and they carry the Salic Berry, you know, to increase their speed, and nothing can outspeed it and stuff. So you can go for the Thunderbolt. It's not gonna KO me. That's why it didn't matter earlier that he went for the Encore, because now I outspeed him and it's a 2-hit KO anyways. But the only thing that could have mattered is that he might have gotten a Parahacks earlier, possibly, if that's even, you know, possible. But now I go for the Fire Punch, and that will KO the Plusle. So things are looking pretty good for me, except that Magmar has a little bit of HP left, and he's gonna go into his last poke, which is Delibird, and he's gonna go for the Ice Shard, which is a priority move, Stab, Life Orb, and plus the Hustle ability, which increases your attack, but however the accuracy goes down on your moves. On your moves. So I'm gonna go into my last poke, which is Raichu. Not necessarily my last poke, but he goes for the Ice Shard. Didn't matter if he did make it and get a crit or something, because I am Focus Sashed. And I go for the Thunderbolt, and that will definitely KO the Delibird. So great game, James. That was a really good match. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this kind of layout, and make sure you just subscribe to the Console Network and as well as my channel. So see you next time.